what's in the bag when it comes to film photography. So let's take a quick look. Now, I do have some cameras and a lens set aside here, but we'll talk about those later because right now I have 3 SLRs in here, but I normally don't carry all 3. I carry 2, plus some of these other cameras, point and shoots, or that Rollei B-35. So really quick, let's look in the pockets. Q-tips for lens cleaning. We have some mounts for the tripod, some dust cloths, a little dust brush, another tripod mount, coin for securing those, and that's what's in that pocket. This other pocket have ND filters for my action cameras and some memory cards. That's what's in there. Let's see, side pocket, I have this little dropper with some DI water, and that's for just cleaning lenses, so that I just like to use DI water when it comes to maintaining and cleaning the lenses. In the main camera, so, oh, and the other thing, everything in here cost under $230. I mean, the most expensive item was $230. Nothing in this bag was, quote, $5 pickup from a thrift store. It's just not possible or not reasonable, or what you're seeing on YouTube. Yeah, that's amazing, but I've got a couple rolls of film that are left over from a shoot that I just did that's actually coming out next week on the Pacific Coast Highway. Went up, shot at Point Reyes, Fort Ross, and then Point Arena Lighthouse. This is just some leftover gold. And I have some 100D from Reform Film Labs. Just never got to shoot those. What else in here? I have my case for my DJI Action 4 camera. More batteries, little toolkit in case I have to do any repairs. Got some newer filters for my lenses. ND filter. I have a Tiffin red filter and a newer polarizer. Those come in handy. Let's see, oh, and I have an ND filter from my action camera. Have a little duster. More cleaning cloths. A little mount for iPhone if I need to use that. Let's see what's got in here. I got a lens. I have this is my only non-Nikon lens. It's a 28mm Vivitar. So if I want to do any wide angle stuff, I have this lens to use. Let's see, I also have this beautiful vintage 135mm f2.8. This is a great lens, especially from 30 feet in, super sharp. Seems like the closer your subject is, the sharper this is. Kind of soft at infinity, so wouldn't be using it to shoot landscape or anything out far, but for portraits or close-up stuff, this is a great lens. 135 f2.8. Let's see, now, SLRs. First one is basically I don't want to say my baby, because this other one's my baby, but this is the first SLR I've ever owned, not this exact camera, but this model. I had this back in high school, Nikon FG, used it in photography class. It is paired with a 55mm micro lens, which is extremely sharp. And the reason I have these two paired together, this is a true AIS lens, and the Nikon FG has, because it's a fully electronic camera, where the other two I have are manual, this has the capability to do aperture priority and fully programmable. And if you want to shoot in program mode, you can set your aperture to the orange 32, and the camera does everything for you. So this is a great camera for somebody just learning, somebody just starting out, maybe a teenager looking for a camera, film camera in high school or college or something like that. Very inexpensive. The combination between that camera and the lens that I actually had in high school, so I had this tank of a 50mm f2. This is a solid lens, this Nikon 50mm f2 lens. But this combination between the 50mm f2 and the Nikon FG, you could probably pick up the two for under $100 or right around $100 in good working condition. And the next camera in my kit is the Nikon FM, and I love this camera. It is paired with a 50mm f1.4, and this is an amazing lens. Super sharp, doesn't have all the advanced lens coatings, so I have this little lens hood to keep light off of, you know, coming in at an angle, causing some lens flares. But other than that, this is an amazing camera. I love this fully mechanical Nikon FM. Drawback though, it only has shutter speed up to 1/1000th of a second, but other than that, it's a great camera. And again, I picked up that FM body for $75. The actual 50mm f1.4 picked up for under $50. So combination between the two, $125. And my pride and joy here, this is my Nikon F2 short stroke shutter advance. Man, that sound of that horizontal shutter is just, I love it. But anyway, this is my Nikon F2, it's my pride and joy. I love shooting this camera. Looks a little funky, I mean, the way this viewfinder is on top. This one right here has the DP2 viewfinder, so it's a digital one inside. Took me a little while to get used to spotting it because it's at the bottom of the actual viewfinder. I was used to having the light meter on the right side of the viewfinder, so it took a little while for my eye to get used to that, but now it's super easy. I do have it paired with the 85mm f1.8 lens, and this lens is the non-AI version, so it's using the little rabbit ears to let the camera know what aperture setting is being used. But love this camera. This is the most expensive camera in the bag. This was the one that I picked up off of Used Photo Pro. I guess they're a online distributor for Robert's cameras. This was $230. That includes shipping, tags, and a 6-month warranty. And I love this camera. It has, unlike these other two cameras, so these two, the FG and the FM, have a K-type focus screen, which is great. Little prism in there that you focus with is horizontal. The F2 has a P-type. Everything is exactly the same as the K-type focus screen. So the Nikon F2 uses, instead of a K-type, it uses a P-type. And the P-type focus screen has the prism, but it's on a diagonal. And I find that way easier to focus on both items that are, like if I'm trying to pull focus on an area that's horizontal or vertical, that diagonal focus prism makes it way easier. So anyway, that's what's in the bag. Oh, before I forget. So like I said, most of the time I only carry 2 SLRs, a combination of either of these two, depending on what I'm shooting. And then, especially if I'm gonna be doing some street stuff, I will supplement one of these cameras or 2 of these cameras. So especially for street photography, I have this Rollei B-35. Great street photography camera, super quiet. I mean, it is like super, super quiet. That's it. And then you can choose to film advance whenever you want. You can take a picture on the street and then just keep walking and film advance later. Great camera. Again, got this off of Robert's cameras for, I think it was $80, so great deal. These other 2 point and shoots, I have the Nikon Fun Touch, which I really love shooting. It fits in the pocket really easily. It has probably the most dynamic range. Now when I say Nikon Fun Touch, just the version 1 of the Fun Touch. This one has a f3.5 lens. It has the ability to read DX codes. It has 4 sensors, so it can read, I think, from 50 all the way up to 1,000 when it comes to the DX code of film, so you have more range there. It has a wider range of shutter speeds. So if you're gonna pick up a inexpensive, this costs under $30. I think it was about $25. So if you're gonna pick up an inexpensive, functioning point and shoot Nikon camera, this Fun Touch version 1, I would recommend 1,000 times over. This is a great little camera. You can put it in your pocket. Has a little switch here to open and close a protective cover that's over the lens, so it makes it really easy to use. The other camera that I enjoy shooting, especially if I'm doing low light, shooting at night, and this one I tested against the Fun Touch. I believe this has a little better image quality. The Canon AF35ML. Love this camera. Drawback is it's loud. It's super, super loud, so I wouldn't feel comfortable using it on the streets if I'm trying to get very candid, you know, spur of the moment type of images, because once you click that shutter, it makes a super loud noise, automatically advances the film. So it's just a loud camera. And the other drawback is it's a little bulky. I mean, comparing the two, the way the lens protrudes, it doesn't fit in the pocket as easily. So even though this is a better camera, I find myself actually carrying this Nikon Fun Touch around with me a lot more than I do this Canon AF35ML, just because this one is way easier to carry around and conceal and so forth. Now, when it comes to the Canon AF35ML, because you're able to manually adjust the ISO, keep in mind the original Canon AF35ML, the first production batches, only had ISO, was capable up to 400, and then they did a mid-production upgrade, and then ISO was able to adjust all the way up to 1,000. So this one has ISO range up to 1,000. So just keep that in mind if you're looking at this camera or looking for this camera, that you want to pay attention to how high the ISO setting will go. But anyway, so this is what's in my camera bag. I have the Nikon FG, Nikon FM, Nikon F2, my little baby. I have them paired with the Nikon 55mm micro lens, the 50mm f1.4. I have 135 f2.8 and the 85 f1.8. And this is my kit, different combinations of what I use when I need to use it, what I'm gonna be shooting, but this works well for me. If you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments. But nothing in this bag costs more than, like I said, $230. That was the F2 body. Everything else, all the other camera bodies were well under 100. Two of the lenses, the 85 and the 55, were around $120, but everything else was really good bargains off of eBay. You just need to know who to buy it from, make sure they're trusted sources, and make sure the items have been tested, but there are a lot of great deals. Nothing was, quote, $5 from the thrift store. Those folks talking about $5 thrift store stuff, yeah, right. But anyway, this is what's in the bag. This is my budget film photography bag. Hope you enjoyed watching. This is Steve with Flexing Film.